Hey gorgeous, so today I'm going to show you how I am going to be working on this bed. This is the bed that has the brick path that I made a few years ago. It's all winky looking because I made it by myself. I used those bricks from a chimney that we took down from our house. So all of this brick was reused, and I have a bunch of perennials here growing that are like the wrong perennials in my opinion for this path, like this roseanne geranium that it just likes to spread. And unfortunately, because this is the path, this is one of the paths from the back of the house to the front of the house, this roseanne geranium just gets trash here, like it's starting to look like it has been stepped on. So I am going to remove these two. While I do love these geraniums, it's just not the spot. It's not the best spot for them. I have a bunch of other perennials growing here. I am going to remove those Shasta daisies. They just get huge, and I think that I'm going to add more plants here that are just going to be way better in the long run. And my goodness, you guys, the weeds are taking over this bed. I haven't really done anything as far as cleaning this bed. So this is what happens when you just forget about your beds and don't do any maintenance on them. The weeds just start taking over. I have those beautiful divisions that I showed you a few videos ago early in the spring, of those Annabelle divisions that I took, and they are blooming. They're looking amazing. I knew they were going to be okay. I knew they were going to root well where I had them, but I didn't know they were going to be flowering this first year. And that's a really nice surprise. So there is a lot of work that I have to do here, mainly weeding, digging, replacing, and I also have a bunch of beautiful plants that I'm going to show you here in a minute what they're going to look like here. The allium heads that I have here are already past their point of blooming, but what I'm going to try to do is I am going to try to save seeds from this. Some people have mentioned that it's really very easily done, so I haven't done it before. If you have any tips for me as far as doing this, let me know. So now that I have a better idea of what the place looks like, I am going to show you the plants that are going to be filling up this space. I thought that those weeds were going to be a lot harder to remove, but it rained yesterday, so I think that the soil is a little bit softer. My goodness, it's amazing how quickly the weeds can take over a flower bed if you don't do any regular maintenance. Here are some of the plants that I'm going to be using. I found these gorgeous green mountain boxwoods from Monrovia, and they're going to be amazing here. They're going to be basically a wall of evergreen eventually, and it's going to make more sense once I place them where I want them to be. They don't get extremely big. They get about 3 feet wide and 5 feet tall, which if I let them go to maturity, they're going to be amazing. And my idea is obviously to keep them trim, but they're definitely going to be a gorgeous addition to this side of the bed. I have a total of 4. I definitely think that that's plenty. I was debating on having an extra one, but I think that these are going to be plenty. I also went to my local stone store and I grabbed a few of these small rocks, and they're pretty much going to be framing the front of this flower bed. And it's just going to look so good once it's all finished. I can already see it. Obviously it's not going to happen instantly, but it's going to be just gorgeous, just beautiful. And over here I have the rest of the plants. Lots of construction going on around me. I got these nitty-gritty peach roses. You guys, these guys look amazing. Look at those blooms. I am really hoping that these guys like where I'm going to place them. And also, they don't get that big. They get about 4 feet wide and 3 feet tall. So they don't really get huge. And my gosh, look at that. Look at that picture. And look at the blooms. Beautiful. So I have a few of these roses. And I also have a collection of coneflowers. I don't know why, I just don't have a lot of coneflowers in my garden. But look at those blooms. I mean, my gosh. These guys right here. These are double scoop watermelon. Beautiful, beautiful coneflowers from Monrovia. Look at that. My world. And I also have another collection, and I also have another type right here. This guy is Fresco Apricot Coneflower. I haven't spotted any blooms on these guys yet, but they're coming. And I have a few of these Sweet Sandia Coneflower, and I can kind of sort of see what they're going to be looking like. And I have one of these Lonely Panama Red Coneflower. Look at that. So all of these coneflowers and all of these roses are going to be additions to that flower bed with the boxwoods. Let me show you, let me place some of the boxwoods and some of these and show you where they're going to be. Oh, brother. Ah! I think I just need to get a small wagon. Oh, my goodness. So these nitty-gritty roses are going to be standing tall on that little bench that I made last year there. I think that they're going to be just a nice little addition there. I like that I have that bench there because for smaller plants, it can just give me a nice bump to give me the height that I need. I really am debating whether to leave this Shasta Daisy here. The problem with Shasta Daisy here is that it gets like really tall and it really flops all over the place. I love it. I absolutely love it. And I have a couple divisions on the back there. I think what I'm going to do is that I'm going to cut it back. I'm going to leave just a tiny bed standing there alone. And I am going to put coneflowers all around it. I really like it that it just gets huge. And I have already divided it many times. I also have irrigation set up there. So I do want to make sure that I don't cut my irrigation. There we go, it's a nice chunk. And this is such a good piece that I got that is big enough that I can divide it. I'm going to cut it right in the middle and I'm going to place it in another spot in my garden. And they may suffer with the division, with the transplanting, especially now that it's very hot outside. but they will come back next year just beautiful. And this is how you get free plants. Okay, just so that you have a better idea of placement, I have them very, very close together, and that is definitely something that I like to do, especially when I don't want to apply mulch. These are going to be so tight together that they're not going to let any sun go through for the weeds. I have every single cornflower placed here, and they're going to look amazing. Once they're full grown, this area is just going to be full of color, and I'm all about that. Making an evergreen wall with boxwoods for this section has been something that I have been wanting to do for the longest time, but I couldn't do it because we had to bury the power lines, and now that that is done, I can definitely plant the shrubs that I need there. And those green mountains are, oh my gosh, I just love them. I love them so much. So the idea is that I am going to just let them grow big and tall, and I will just shape them to a wall here, just leaving the opening for that path. Now that path is just going to have to be redone, and I am going to have to figure out a way to fill in between the bricks so that I don't have to fight the weeds. I'm thinking that I'm going to have to get some sort of mortar or, I don't know, concrete mix to add to those. I do love the look of just age, and it looks like the path has been there since, forever, even though I pretty much made it myself. But my goodness, it's a weed magnet for everything, for every little area in between the bricks. And as you can see, the sun is taking over. So what I'm going to do is that I am going to plan everything. I am going to try to place the backstoods where I want them. And I am going to use the rocks that I got, and I am going to frame the bed. This is going to be amazing. I just know it. Okay, so I'm finally able to show you the finished project. Somewhat finished. I still have to work on that path that I have to fix. I still have to think about what my options are, but the plants, the backswoods, especially right here at the very, very front, are looking so beautiful already. I have been watering a lot because we have been getting lots of crazy extreme temperatures here in central Indiana. So these guys are definitely needing some extra love in the water department. But they look amazing, and honestly, I really, really hope that they like it here. All of these flowers here and perennials and shrubs are going to be getting sun from the west side of the house. So once the sun hits them, it's really, really strong. And especially now with the crazy temperatures that we're getting, I just want to make sure that they're nice and cozy here. I really like how those rocks are framing the bed, and for the part that is not framed right next to the backswoods, that's where I'm going to continue the brick path. I have plenty of bricks that I am going to be reusing for this path to extend it. I just gotta work on really using something that it doesn't settle. I really don't have anything underneath those bricks, and some of them, because they have been here for almost 4 years, 4 or 5 years by now, some of them are already crashing, and I just have to really spend a few hours here on a weekend and redo this whole path. But it's going to be a project for another day, hopefully on a day that is not 94 degrees outside. The cornflowers are looking really, really nice there. I just hope that this whole bed is just full of color once all of those cornflowers are in bloom. Right now I have a few salvias, a few other perennials here blooming. And so far I am really, really liking how this bed is looking. Like the bees and the pollinators are going crazy already for all of the blooms that I have here. And the roses, the nitty gritty peach roses that I got, all four of them, I got a few containers from my local home decor store. And I really like how they're all looking all together with the roses. I added a little bit of potting mix when I potted up those roses. And I am going to have to look for something to feed them because I really do want these roses to just keep on blooming throughout the season. This flower bed is already looking way better than what it did a couple of days ago. It's amazing how a little bit of weeding, some replanting, and some mulching can do to an area. And this area was already lovely, but with the new additions, it's just going to be even better. And I cannot believe how everything is already just so full. The perennials, the shrubs, even the broken down path, everything just works so well together here. In my opinion, it just makes me so happy. And I hope to be able to keep on top of this and, not letting the weeds take over. The containers that I have here, the planters that I put together only a few weeks ago, it seems like, they're already huge. And we're only not even at towards the end of May yet, and I cannot wait until everything is just so full of color. Some of the dahlias here are just opening, and those petunias that I started from seed, actually everything on these planters I started from seed, everything is looking so amazing already. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you did, let me know in the comments, and I will see you on the next time.